Yes, but why do you want me to tell you? I mean, it's all in the textbooks at this point, of course. The war was what, over 40 years ago? Fine, fine. I have time for your games, but please don't try my patience. I suppose you've heard of a German named Schrödinger? No? I digress for a brief physics lesson. You see, the man suggested the imagined a cat, trapped inside a silver box with a vial of poison, a Geiger counter, and a sliver of plutonium. If the mineral decays, the vial will break, baking our pretend cat. But if we don't open the box, one simply can't know if the plutonium is radiated. And so Schrödinger's cat remains simultaneously alive and dead. A problem for the Copenhagen interpretation of quantum states. But, a little known fact, Schrödinger actually had a cat. A Rosa, he called her, a black and white tabby. He loved her very much, but in his old age, the doctor had grown quite mad, and so had poor Rosa shaved head to toe, covered in electrodes, and locked inside a quantum box. Now, I know what you're thinking. That wasn't really a cat. It's just a thought experiment, man. Wrong. You see, I was there. Though what emerged from that contraption certainly was no cat. It was the Russians. No, not from the box. It was the Russians who first considered the practical applications of Schrödinger's madness. The year was 1941. Operation Barbarossa, the Nazi invasion of Russia, had just begun. A lightning strike over frozen tundra, and losing what amounted to entire populations of smaller nations on a daily basis. The Reds began what the textbooks now call Project YALE. And the meaning behind this term is oft disputed by historians. Could it be a reference to the Third Reich's Heil? Maybe praise for some unnamed deity? Or is it a salute to General Winter, whose frozen reign had stopped countless proud Napoleons? No. See, I was always of the opinion that the name came from an American, a spy of Revolutionary War fame, Nathan Hale, who reportedly, before his execution, expressed the simple regret of possessing but a single life to lose for one's country. The Russians, you see, intended to give everybody two. Sort of. By constructing industrial-sized quantum boxes, stuffing them full of corpses, those filthy Reds resurrected all of their dead, handed them weapons, and then pointed west. By 1943, you'll recall, Hitler was eaten by zombies. A passing British pilot happened to capture the moment with an aerial camera. And now that photograph hangs in the bedrooms of punk rockers, next to posters of Sid Vicious and the Rolling Stones. But the real problem was what to do with the darn varmints. The war having been won, and they, stripped of their humanity, incapable of paying a reason, soon turned the entirety of Eastern Europe zombie gray. Until 1945, when they made their way here, to the United States. And no longer satisfied by our tired minds, they targeted our women and our jobs. You'll recall when they first began to unionize, unleashing a perfectly timed strike against weak markets vying for depression. And what of their civil rights movement? The undead sea converging on Washington, buoying signs that read, "Let them eat brains." And today, with the advent of modern cosmetics and internet forums, it's all but impossible to differentiate between zombies and human beings. Oh, they walk among us, all right. Quietly living their undead lives, craving a little gray matter on the side. They could be anybody. Your pastor. Your gynecologist. Hell, even your audience. Your audience. Oh, no! Stay in your seats, vile creatures! You reek of resurrection! Don't touch me with your needles! My lawyer's on speed dial, I'm a soldier. I killed men to keep this country clean. My thine eyes have seen the glory of